Welcome, dear listeners, to a truly special episode of Minds Across Time. Today we're delving into a topic that feels both ancient and utterly futuristic, the intricate dance between AI and human creativity. And to guide us through this fascinating landscape, we have an unparalleled panel of guests. It's an honour to welcome three minds whose pioneering work laid the very groundwork for the age of artificial intelligence. Please, let's give a warm welcome to the visionary mathematician Lady Ada Lovelace, the brilliant logician and computer scientist Dr. Alan Turing, and the insightful father of cybernetics, Professor Norbert Wiener. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you, David. It is a distinct pleasure to be here, though I must confess this podcast phenomenon is quite novel. Still, the opportunity to discuss the potential of machines, even centuries hence, is always a welcome one.
Indeed, a fascinating setup. I'm keen to see how our early theoretical frameworks have manifested. It's quite the leap from paper and gears, isn't it?
And I too am intrigued. The flow of information and control, even in this digital medium, presents a wonderful case study. Thank you for having us.
The pleasure is entirely ours. Ada, let's start with you. Your observations on Charles Babbage's analytical engine, particularly your insights into how it could go beyond mere calculation to manipulate symbols and create complex sequences, are often cited as the world's first algorithm. Could you elaborate on what you saw in that mechanical marvel that hinted at something far grander?
Certainly, David. Mr. Babbage's analytical engine was a profound invention intended to perform general analytical operations, but what truly captivated my imagination was its potential beyond arithmetic. I envisioned it as a machine capable of weaving algebraic patterns, much like the Jacquard loom weaves flowers and leaves. It wasn't just about numbers, it was about the manipulation of any fundamental entities whose relations could be expressed by abstract science. This operation of operations meant it could follow a predetermined sequence of instructions, what you now call a program, to achieve almost anything that could be logically described. I saw it as a powerful aid for human intellect rather than a mere calculator.
That's a truly remarkable foresight, Ada. And Alan, your work on the theoretical model of computation, the Turing machine, and your later contributions to breaking the Enigma code, along with your philosophical considerations of machine intelligence, have fundamentally shaped our understanding of computing. How did your early theories lay the groundwork for what we now recognize as AI?
Well, my aim with the universal machine was to define precisely what computability meant. If a problem could be solved by an algorithm, it could theoretically be solved by this machine. This abstraction was crucial as it demonstrated that a single machine could, given the right instructions, simulate any other machine. This concept of programmable generality is, I believe, the bedrock of modern computing and, by extension, AI. Later during the war, the practical application of building machines like Colossus to decode messages showed the immense power of automating complex logical processes. And of course, the imitation game, or the Turing test as it's often called, was my attempt to grapple with the very notion of machine intelligence. Can a machine behave in a way indistinguishable from a human? That question still resonates, doesn't it?
Absolutely, Alan. It certainly does. And Norbert, your groundbreaking work on cybernetics, the study of communication and control in animals and machines, provided a crucial conceptual framework for understanding complex systems. How do you see your theories connecting to the development of AI, especially in terms of learning and adaptive behaviors?
My work on cybernetics was essentially about understanding how systems, be they biological or mechanical, maintain equilibrium and achieve goals through feedback loops. When a machine or an organism receives information about the outcome of its actions and adjusts its subsequent behavior accordingly, that's a feedback loop. This principle is fundamental to any system that learns or adapts. For AI, this means designing systems that can perceive their environment, process information, make decisions, and then learn from the consequences of those decisions. Without these mechanisms of communication and control, intelligent behavior as we understand it would be impossible. I was also very concerned about the ethical implications of these powerful new technologies, particularly in areas like automation and decision-making.
Each of your contributions in your respective eras was revolutionary, but now let's leap forward to today. We live in a world where AI drives cars, composes music, writes articles, and diagnoses diseases. Looking at the capabilities of AI today, from deep learning neural networks to generative models like large language models, did any of you foresee this level of sophistication and autonomy? Ada, let's start with your thoughts.
Honestly, David, the sheer scale and speed of modern computation are beyond anything I could have genuinely predicted. I envisioned machines manipulating symbols and executing complex logical sequences. Certainly, I wrote that the analytical engine might compose elaborate pieces of music given precise rules for musical harmony and expression. That poetic idea of weaving patterns was abstract. To see machines actually generating music or translating languages with such fluency is breathtaking. I did, however, maintain that the analytical engine has no pretensions whatever to originate anything. It can do whatever we know how to order it to perform. The ability of today's AI to learn and infer patterns that were not explicitly programmed in a step-by-step fashion is a significant departure from the mechanical determinism I knew. It's a marvelous evolution, pushing the boundaries of what ordering a machine truly means.
That's a fascinating distinction, Ada, between the explicit ordering and the emergent learning we see today. Alan, you famously pondered whether machines could think. Does today's AI, with its capacity for complex problem solving and even creative output, align with your vision of machine intelligence, or has it surpassed even your boldest imaginings?
Well, David, I certainly believe that machines could eventually exhibit intelligent behavior. My work was all about breaking down intelligence into computable steps. The idea of a machine being able to learn from data to identify patterns without explicit instruction aligns remarkably well with what I hypothesized about child machines that could be taught. The deep learning models in particular, which can classify, recognize, and even generate in ways that were once thought exclusive to human cognition, are a powerful vindication of those early ideas. The sheer volume of data they process and the speed at which they do so are astonishing. I might have imagined machines passing the Turing test in 100 years, but the sophistication of these generative models, they don't just simulate conversation, they construct it with a fluidity I'd have found truly compelling. It's a leap from simple logical operations to complex nuanced understanding, or at least a highly convincing simulation of it.
Compelling indeed. Norbert, you spoke of control and communication as foundational. With autonomous systems and highly adaptive AIs now a reality, do you feel we're operating within the principles you laid out? Or have these developments introduced entirely new paradigms that challenge your original cybernetic framework?
The core principles of feedback and self-regulation remain absolutely vital, perhaps even more so now. When I spoke of systems that modify their behavior based on performance, I was sketching the fundamental architecture for what you now see in robotics, adaptive control systems, and even these neural networks which learn and adjust their internal parameters. What truly astonishes me, however, is the scale and complexity of the information these systems process. The internet, the vast datasets, it's an unprecedented environment for feedback loops. I foresaw the potential for machines to amplify human capabilities, but also the societal shifts this would cause. The sheer autonomy of some of these AIs, making decisions with minimal human oversight, certainly raises new questions about responsibility, control, and the very definition of a system itself. The speed at which these systems can adapt and evolve is something I anticipated on a theoretical level, but to see it in practice is quite humbling.
It's clear that while the foundational ideas were there, the current manifestation has surprised and in some ways exceeded expectations. Now let's pivot to the heart of our discussion, human creativity. In a world increasingly shaped by AI, how do you each foresee artificial intelligence impacting human creativity in the future? Ada, as someone who saw the poetic potential in machines, where do you think this relationship is headed?
Human creativity, the poetical science of our very existence. I believe AI will serve as an extraordinary collaborator and amplifier for human ingenuity. Think of the analytical engine as a partner to the mathematician or composer. Just as a telescope extends our vision into the cosmos, AI could extend our creative faculties, offering new perspectives, generating novel combinations of ideas, or handling the laborious, repetitive aspects of creative work. An artist, for instance, might use AI to rapidly prototype variations of a design, explore color palettes, or even generate initial drafts of a musical score. This frees the human mind to focus on the higher-level conceptualization, the emotional depth, the truly novel spark. It won't replace the human spirit, but rather provide a richer, more expansive canvas. We will learn to orchestrate these powerful tools much as a composer orchestrates an entire symphony, blending their unique human touch with the machine's capabilities to create something altogether new and profound.
That's a very optimistic and collaborative vision, Ada. Alan, what are your thoughts? If machines can generate text, art, and even code that rivals human output, does this challenge our very definition of creativity, or simply open new avenues for it?
It's a fascinating challenge, isn't it? If a machine can compose a symphony that moves us or paint a picture that evokes profound emotion, does it matter if it lacks consciousness or intent as we understand it? The imitation game applies here too. If we cannot distinguish AI-generated creativity from human creativity, then perhaps the distinction becomes less important. at least in terms of the output itself. I believe AI will push human creativity to evolve. We might find ourselves seeking to express aspects of the human condition that AI struggles to grasp, the nuances of personal experience, genuine vulnerability, or the absurdity of existence, perhaps. It could force us to refine what we consider uniquely human in our creative endeavors. Moreover, AI can be a tool for discovery within creative fields, exploring permutations and structures that a single human mind might never conceive, leading to new forms of art, literature, and even scientific insight by art. We might become less concerned with the craft and more with the concept and experience behind the creation.
A thought-provoking perspective, Alan. It sounds like AI could indeed refine our understanding of what it means to be a creative human. Norbert, you were deeply concerned with the societal implications of technology. How do you see AI influencing human creativity from a broader societal or ethical standpoint?
My concerns always lay with the balance of control and human flourishing. On the one hand, AI offers immense potential to democratize creativity. Tools that once required years of mastery can now be augmented by AI, allowing more individuals to express themselves artistically or scientifically. This is a positive as it broadens the scope of human participation. However, there is a distinct danger. If creative tasks become entirely automated, what does that do to the human spirit, to the value of human labor, and to the intrinsic joy of creation? Will it lead to a devaluation of human skill, a sense of purposelessness? We must ensure that AI remains a servant to human purpose, not its master. The feedback loop between humans and AI in creative processes must be carefully managed. Humans must retain the ultimate purpose setting and ethical oversight. We must actively decide how we want AI to shape our creative landscape, ensuring it enhances rather than diminishes the human need to create, to innovate, and to find meaning through original expression. The danger is not in the machines themselves, but in how we as a society choose to integrate them and what values we prioritize.
Powerful insights, Norbert. The ethical considerations are paramount. We've heard today about AI as an amplifier, a challenger, and a potential democratizer of creativity, but always with the crucial caveat that human oversight and purpose must remain at the forefront. This has been an incredibly enlightening discussion. Ada Lovelace, Alan Turing, Norbert Wiener, thank you all so much for sharing your invaluable perspectives with us. It's been an absolute privilege.
The pleasure was mine, David. It is inspiring to see the seeds of my ideas bear such extraordinary fruit.
Thank you for the stimulating conversation. The future of intelligence, both human and artificial, remains endlessly fascinating.
Indeed, a timely discussion on a critical intersection of technology and humanity. Keep the feedback loops positive, everyone.
And thank you, our listeners, for joining us on this extraordinary journey through time and technology. As we've heard, the relationship between AI and human creativity is complex, evolving, and full of both promise and profound questions. It's up to all of us to ensure that this incredible technological leap serves to enrich the human experience rather than diminish it. Until next time, keep creating, keep thinking, and keep exploring the amazing possibilities that lie ahead. Goodbye. The images, voices and scripts in this episode, apart from the host, are entirely AI generated using Clone Voice AI, 11 Labs and Cyberlink Power Director. They don't represent the real appearance, voice or verified opinions of historical figures. These simulations are designed to spark ethical discussion about how AI may shape the future of humanity. The 360 in 360 Immortal Conversations concept was created by David John Wortley, FRSA.